large municipal water tank is empty, it takes a type JQ pump working alone 72 hours to fill, whereas the type JT pump working alone takes only 18 hours. Now we're going to combine these, so we're going to have 2 of the slower ones and 1 of the faster one, and we want to know how fast it's going to go. So a big idea here is we can't add or subtract times, but what we can add or subtract are rates. So the rate of, I'm just going to say Q, the rate of a JQ pump is a rate of 1 tank per 72 hours. So that's just in tanks per hour, that rate. And the rate of a T-type pump, JT pump, is 1 tank in 18 hours. So that's the rate. So now the combined rate is going to be, we're going to have 2 of the JQ pumps plus 1 of the JT pumps. So that's going to be 2 times 172 plus 1 over 18. Well, 2 over 72, that's 1 over 36. And I'm just going to rewrite the 1 over 18, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2, so I get 2 over 36. So we get a common denominator. Add those together, that's 3 over 36, which is 1/12. So together, they have a rate of 1 tank in 12 hours. So they could they could go from an empty tank to a full tank in 12 hours. Well, here's the tricky part. The tank starts at half full. So it's only going to take half that time. So it's only going to take 6 hours. And so the answer is answer choice B. This is very interesting. A certain sequence of numbers after each term after the first is founded by adding 1 to the previous term, then doubling this sum. If the third term is 18, which of the following numbers are in the sequence? So in other words, we're going to have to go both forward and backwards. We might have to find the 4th and the 5th term. We probably will have to find the 1st and the 2nd term. And so this is very important. Going forward, the operations are 1, add 1, and then 2, double. Going backwards, and this is really tricky, going backwards, the first step would be to divide by 2, and then the second step would be to subtract 1. In other words, we have to do the opposite operations, but do them in the opposite order. Now, some people call this the shoes and socks theorem. If you think about it, the operation for getting your foot ready is you put your sock on and then you put your shoe on. Well, when you take them off, first you have to take the shoe off, then you have to take the sock off. So you do the inverse operations in opposite order. And much in the same way, we have to do the inverse operations in the opposite order. First divide by 2, then subtract 1. Okay, let's clear some room and think about this. So A3, the third term, is 18. First of all, going backwards, we're going to divide by 2, 9, subtract 1, 8. And so that is the second term. Let's do that again. We're going to divide by 2, 4, subtract 1, 3. And that is the first term. So 3 and 8 are in the sequence. 18 we know is in the sequence. Going forward, we're going to add 1, 19, and double. Double of 19 is 38. And then if we add 1 again, we get 39. Double of 39 is 78. And so all of those are possible terms in the sequence. We go back and look at our list now. 3, 8, and 38. These are the numbers in the sequence A, B, and F.
You can pause the video to read through the problem. Now there are 2 solutions. The first solution is 4 liters. I'm going to write L for liters. and that's 40% acid, sulfuric acid. Now what this means is 40% of this 4 liters, so let's say this is a 4 liter solution, 40% of this 4 liter solution is acid and the rest 60% is water. And then there's another solution that's 5 liters, a little more than this, and this is 5 liters and a certain percent of acid that's not given. So let's say this is X percent. The two solutions are combined. So here's a 4 liter solution, here's a 5 liter solution. So when they're combined, we get a 9 liter solution, right? 4 plus 5 is 9. So we get this 9 liters, and it's given that 50% of this 9 liter solution is concentrated sulfuric acid, meaning 50% of this solution is acid and the rest is water. Now then, we need to find this X out. We need to find out what was the concentration as a percent of the second solution. In the final solution, as 50% of 9 liters is acid, we can actually find this out. 50% of 9 is 4.5. So we have 4.5 liters of acid in the final solution, out of which some acid comes from this one. Now 40% of 4 times 4 is 16. So 40% of 4 liters is 1.6 liters. So out of this 4.5 liters of acid in the final solution, 1.6 liters is going to come from this solution, the first solution. Where is the rest going to come from? It's going to come from this. So this must have 4.5 liters minus 1.6 liters, which is equal to 2.9 liters of acid. Now 2.9 liters out of a total of 5 liters. What percent is that? That's 2.9 over 5, and as a percent it's times 100. 5 times 20 is 100, and 2.9 times 20 is equal to 58. So the concentration as a percent of the second solution is 58%.
Okay, to begin, let's let X represent the sale price of the sculpture. Now the question tells us that the commission is equal to 20% of the first $12,000 plus 15% of the sale price in excess of $12,000, which is equal to X minus $12,000. From here we can replace 20% and 15% with their decimal equivalents, and we are told that the commission is equal to $3,900. From here we'll solve the equation for X. First we'll expand the right-hand side. Then we'll simplify the right-hand side. From here we will subtract 600 from both sides. And finally we'll divide both sides by 0.15 to get X equals 22,000. So the sale price is equal to $22,000.
This is an interesting problem. We can solve this entirely without a calculator. We're going to add up 4 positive consecutive integers and get a sum of 802. So we notice that that number is very close to 800, and of course 800 divided by 4 is 200. And so it's going to be numbers very close to 200. Now if we add 200, 201, 202, 203, that seems like it might be a little big. Let's just try that. And I'm going to write that, 200, I'm going to write these down, but I'm not going to add them in this form. I'm going to actually write them in this form. 200 plus 1 plus 0, 200 plus 1, 200 plus 2, 200 plus 3. And so that's going to be the 800 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So that's 806. That's too big. So we can't start at 200. We have to go one notch down. What if we go down to 199? So 199, 200, 201, 202. And again, I'm not going to add these as is. I'm going to write this as 200 minus 1. Just 200 by itself, 200 plus 1, and 200 plus 2. The 4 200s add up to 800. We get a minus 1 plus 1. Those cancel. Plus 2. 800 plus 2 is 802. So these are the correct 4 integers, and the least value is 199. So the two columns match, they're equal, and the answer is answer choice C.